Welcome to Popternative, where we dive into topical discussions from the worlds of pop culture, social media, and sports. Here is your host, Peter Remoliotis, aka PD Beats.
Hello and welcome to Popternative. This is the talk show and podcast where we have digital discussions, the worlds of TV, film, news, music, lifestyle, pop culture, sports, everything really depending on the guest. We talk about it all. As always, I'm your host, Peter Remoliotis. On social media, you know me as PD Beats. You'll recently recognize my guest from a show that just dropped on Netflix, taking the world by storm, called Country Comfort. We're speaking to Ricardo Hurtado about this. Ricardo, welcome to Popternative, man.
Thank you, man. I'm excited to be here.
I'm really excited to chat with you. When you watch this show, Country Comfort, there's like three big elements in play. There's the family component, the music component, and the comedy, because it's a sitcom and everything. For you specifically, they all work together. Which one stands out for you the most, Ricardo? Like, which one kind of stands out if there's one that's more heavy than the other in terms of, standing out and watching the show? Because they're all important.
Yeah, well, like you said, there's definitely, a great mixture of all three, and all three are pretty prominent within the show. But I'd say the one that stands out to me the most is the family aspect to it, because this is a type of show that we need nowadays. It's very family oriented. It has a lot of, promotes a lot of good family values and stuff like that. And I think this is something that we need nowadays.
No,
Yeah.
absolutely. Now, this is not your first time on working with Netflix. You've been in other Netflix projects before, right?
Yeah.
But the reception of this has been insane. People are loving this from all over the place. But what was the reception from you, specifically from your family and friends, about the show, Ricardo, so far?
Yeah, so all my family and friends love it. Yeah, I grew up in Georgia, so I have a lot of friends that are from the South, and so they love that. They're just all the southern aspects of the show, and that very southern hospitality that you see throughout the show, which I love. I grew up around all that, and so they love that. And my family just loves to see me on the big screen, right? And so they are super excited that I got to be a part of such a lovely, heartfelt show that promotes such good family values and stuff like that. So I'm really excited about
Absolutely. How much fun is it to play Tuck? Like, yeah, he's just a blast.
that. Tuck is a fun character to play for sure. He's a crazy guy. He's definitely a ladies guy. But what I love about him is that there's more to him than just that. There's those deeper layers to him, especially when it comes to the loss of his mother.
Yes.
So I just love getting to explore those, deeper layers about him. And I'm really hoping that if we get a season 2, we get to see more of that.
Absolutely. On social media, there's a lot of people saying a lot of things. A lot of people are commenting on the hair. They enjoyed Tuck's hair. Have you seen that a lot on social media?
Yeah. It's funny. I mean, he's got some pretty intense hair, man. That's for sure.
Is it a lot easier than people think? Like, because it's just slick back, right? You know what I mean?
There's a process. I'll tell you, there's a process for it. I'm in the hair chair for like a good 10, 15 minutes, man. So
absolutely. It's interesting you say that, because this show, the three components we talked about, but this show has a lot of heart. There's a lot of moments in the show when it's just, you and your siblings talking where it's like, wow, like this hits hard. What was what was going through your mind when you were reading the script? Because it's not just kind of a show about a family who used to be a band and singing. There's a lot of like intense, like impactful moments in this as well, Ricardo.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I love that about it because, especially the projects that I've been a part of for the most part have been strictly, comedy, and I love it. It's my favorite, but it's definitely fun too. And I love getting to play more drama things. I know that, Tuck for the most part, and for the most part, the show is a lot comedy, but there's a lot, like you said, there's a lot of heartfelt moments and a lot of deeper moments, which I love to get to play those. And, reading those bits in the scripts and stuff, it just really makes me excited because, like I said, I've been doing a lot of comedy, strictly comedy. So I'm just excited to get to play those deeper layers.
Now, I do have to say, this is a bit of a big deal because this statement, what I'm about to say, is true, okay? You were in the TV show adaptation of my favorite movie of all time. Okay, School of Rock is my favorite movie of all time. It is like talk to everyone.
Wow,
it links to Country Comfort a little bit because you did that. That was a project you did when you were younger and everything. That was music kind of themed and involved, and now you kind of moved to Country Comfort. Is it safe to say that you enjoy working on shows that involve music, Ricardo, or is it just how the cards played?
I love it, man. And you know what? Actually, so School of Rock was my first audition ever.
Yeah.
And so I got that. And the reason I got it was because I knew how to play the drums. So in School of Rock, I played Freddie the drummer.
Yes.
And so the fact that because I grew up in a very musical family. My dad's a music teacher. He's taught me how to play instruments all my life. And so I just really love working on music shows because it's combining, my two passions,
Yeah.
acting and singing and music. And I just love getting to do that. And I love getting to do that again here on Country Comfort because it just brings back memories, honestly, to like School of Rock, where I got to be a part of such a musical show and stuff. So
the legacy on School of Rock too is insane, man. Like the musicals and everything, like it's just, and I love to see it because it's my favorite movie. You know what I mean?
That's awesome.
It's pretty cool. When Country Comfort dropped on Netflix, there was a lot of people that watched it and enjoyed a lot of things of it, and there's a lot of things that they enjoyed about it and they told their friends. But what were you hoping the most people got out of this show when it dropped? Like what did you like diving deeper into it when they watch it? What do you hope they get out of it?
For you're saying for Country Comfort,
yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I just really hope that people get those family values. Like I said before, it's something. There's a lot of content out there.
Yeah.
That, I don't know. I don't. It's not family friendly, that's for sure. And I don't think they promote a lot of good values.
No.
So I love getting to see that this show is promoting those values, especially because as for me, I'm a Christian, and so I only like to be a part of projects that give good messages, and that aren't giving bad examples to kids and to families and stuff. I really want to be a part of shows that give kids, people to look up to, especially when it comes to moral values and things like that. And that's what I love the most about the show. Yeah. Because there's nothing, I mean, there's some funny parts in there, but it's nothing like overtly dirty or anything like that. And I just love getting to be a part of it.
It's got the slapstick moments for sure. Like it definitely has them. It doesn't shy away from that. What was it like working with Catherine McPhee?
Catherine McPhee is awesome. She's a sweetheart, and she's super talented. I think she absolutely killed the role of Bailey. She was like made for it. She is super sweet. She's super professional, which I love. I love getting to work with professional people because it just makes everything a whole lot easier and a lot more fun on set. And man, her voice is insane. Like how you hear her, that's how she sings. Like that's how she sings in real life, live. She's amazing. Like, yeah.
It's interesting because you're obviously focusing on the acting. That's the craft that you're really focusing on. But it happens naturally in the entertainment industry where people kind of wear many hats and try a lot of other things. They try writing, producing, directing, right? Do you see yourself as obviously like acting being kind of the main focal point? But do you see yourself wearing many hats in the next couple of years, Ricardo, kind of experimenting with writing and all?
I do. Actually, I just got engaged, and my fiance, she wants to be a writer, and so we're trying to come up with our own ideas, and we're trying to write our own stuff because, I mean, for me as an actor too, that's a smart thing to do because say I were to actually create something and it were to get bought, then I could obviously cast myself, right? So, but no, I love being creative. I love being creative with my fiance, and I just love creating things that give good moral values and stuff like that. So hopefully we'll create things like that, and you never know what can happen.
It's an interesting thing too, because you can ask this to, a lot of your cast members on Country Comfort as well. Same thing with School of Rock as well. I mean, you're doing these shows and you were all what they call, young up and coming storytellers, right? School of Rock, you said, was your first audition and everything. You're doing this. And it's interesting because, you're doing this, you're learning as you go, you're looking up to people in the industry as well. But at the same time, you're on these big shows on Nickelodeon, on Netflix now, and you have this big stage that people are kind of seeing you on, right? And it's interesting because then you have people kind of looking up to you as well. So you're kind of in the middle. People are looking up to you, but you're also still looking up to people. Have you ever thought about that? That's an interesting dynamic, so to speak.
It is an interesting dynamic, and it's, like you said, like I'd be looking up to people, but I'm like people looking up to me. That means I have to be a role model. I have to show, because as an actor and stuff, a lot of my personal life and my personal character translates to my acting.
Yep.
And so when people see me as an actor, they're also going to be interested in seeing me as, in my personal life. And so I just want to make sure I'm always a role model.
That was literally my next question too. I mean, you see on social media, you have fans from all over the world that follow you. I mean, there is a responsibility naturally that comes with that, right?
Yeah, definitely. definitely. I totally agree with that, and I always try to, keep all my content clean and family friendly, kid friendly. And so like I said, I'm a Christian. I just want to be a role model for everyone who looks up to me.
What is your favorite thing about being a storyteller and actor? Is there like one or two things that stand out like that you love about it the most?
You know what? I love getting to play roles because I don't know. For me in my career that I've experienced, it's like I get to be. It's almost like being myself.
Yeah.
A lot of the roles that I mean, obviously for Tuck, for example, he's an elevated version. Like I'm not like him in real life, but a lot of my personal traits, a lot of my personal characteristics in my personal life, they translate into these characters, and I like to do that a lot because that's what I when you see that and when you see really good actors, for the most part, they're a lot of times they're playing themselves. Like a lot of their personal traits are translating into those characters. That's why it looks so natural. That's why it looks so real.
Absolutely.
And I just think it's so much fun. I just love getting to do that and being a part of these like crazy worlds that it takes you away from reality and being a part of these crazy worlds is really fun.
It's interesting because I've seen that aspect of it, but I've also seen the completely other aspect. Like I have friends on TV shows that play the most, like they are completely opposite of their characters in real life.
No, of course there's definitely some of those as well, but I mean that's fun too.
But it happens a lot what you were saying though. Like a lot of people just saying, "Yeah, myself." Like it's interesting you say that because people have said that too. Like they relate a lot to the character they get to play on the screen. Like that's a thing. But it's just like some of my friends are on Letterkenny, which is on Hulu, and that show is very out there and everything about a real like Canadian town, and a lot of those cast members are like nothing like that.
That's right. It's true.
Which is amazing. We're having a good time here. We're laughing. I mean, are you a fan of the dad jokes, Ricardo? I have to ask you. Do you like dad jokes? Do you appreciate the dad jokes? Well,
I do.
So I happen to be a dad joke connoisseur, which if you watch my show and you've seen other things, I ask my guests, like my guests enjoy the dad jokes because I have them rapid fire. You know what I mean? Okay.
I want to hear one.
Why shouldn't you trust stairs?
Why should I trust stairs?
You shouldn't trust stairs. They're always up to something.
Oh.
And this is a good one, because you said you were a drummer and everything. What did the female drummer name her 3 daughters, Ricardo? What were their names?
Ooh, I don't know.
Anna 1, Anna 2, Anna 1, 2, 3.
Oh my goodness.
Come on, that was a good one.
I've not heard those before.
Yeah, no, there's a lot. I mean, there's a lot of the obvious ones that people are like, I've heard it before, right? Like the restaurant on the moon, great food, zero atmosphere.
Yeah.
I mean, working at the shoe factory, but you quit because it was soul destroying. Like, there's a lot of them. I got a dad joke calendar for Christmas last year.
Oh, really?
So there's like these aren't mine, unfortunately. Like I wish I could take credit.
You got your repertoire.
I got 365 jokes, Ricardo. Like it's on.
Yeah.
Like every day it's a different dad joke. Pardon me?
How many of those do you have memorized?
A bunch. Did you know that the shovel was a groundbreaking invention? What did the cloud put on before he went to school? His thunderwear.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a lot.
You're really prepared, man.
And it's funny because you mentioned the drum thing. I have to bring up the Anna one because I played drums growing up too. That's why my name's PD Beats. That's where it came from. It was my stage name.
Nice.
But he's playing bands and everything. So music connections there. Ricardo, thank you so much for coming on Popternative, man. I really appreciate it.
I appreciate it, Pete, man. You're an awesome guy. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So Country Comfort season 1 now available on Netflix. They can watch all the episodes.
Yeah.
Which is
yeah.
Absolutely. And where can people follow you on social media to keep up to date with everything?
Yeah, so I'm basically only on Instagram. You guys can add me at Ricardo.
It's just that was a question I was gonna ask and I forgot, but you got it. It's just Ricardo.
Yeah, I got it, man.
That's awesome. Well, this has been Popternative, youtube.com/Popternative. For previous episodes, you can catch Ricardo as Tuck in Country Comfort, now available on Netflix. Until next time, this is Ricardo Hurtado and PD Beats signing off.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube. Be sure to like Popternative on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.